Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of My Home Hero, which I didn't, once again, get to episode 8 again. And, but I'll be doing both, doing both again. But really quick with episode 8, which was really good as well. Like how the previous one was, how Rika, their daughter, was going to talk with Kiyoshi, right? And by the end, how when Totsu was gonna get the envelope, and then all of a sudden, Kyoshi pops out of the elevator. All of a sudden, thinking how he's gonna get out of it. Well, he just really just quick on his feet. He just snuck away before Kyoshi saw him. So, and with Rika, her mom comes by. It's like, oh, what a coincidence to see you here. Are you meeting with someone? Oh, you might invite might come along or whatever. So she manages to avoid having Rika meet with Kyoshi. And with Totsu, he finds Kyoshi's apartment. He was gonna try to pick his lock though, but he couldn't. And that's basically most of the gist of it, like how later when Kyoshi because Totsu he went and bought a black light, a much more cheaper version, because Chelsea, he was going to go back to the apartment, use a black light to find any amounts of blood anywhere that you can find, right? Well, Totsu, he did a switch, right? Like, he opened up the black light and switched out with his, and then he goes, and then when he went and bought a staple and some stuff, right, to reseal the package, right? Being clever on his part, right? And then afterwards, when he goes back to his apartment, because he was gonna look at his, he has something to get in the safe, right? And he tells him to look away so he doesn't see what's in it, though. So he can't see. And then by the end of the episode, when his wife finds in a not a ditch though, but it's one of those in a hole in the ground where it has those metal grates that's on it. She opens it, and then she finds what we don't see, which comes into this next episode now. But it's really good. Episode 8 was very good as well, because this show's been absolutely great all the way through so far. And with episode 9 right now, it's been absolute. I was like, while I was watching, I was like, oh my god, what's happened next now? It was really gonna. Because what happens in this episode is just really well done, because it shows how far that a husband and wife duo of Totsu and Keisen, how they did to manipulate and plan, and everything they've done has been trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, right? This has been absolutely how very well written this series has been. What Kaysen found inside that grate, it was the bag that contains the bones and the tablet contained that fake video, and of course Kiyoshi, I think the whole chemistry between Kiyoshi and Totsu has been really good. You're thinking that Kiyoshi suspects that suspecting that the Totsu is behind all this, but he can't have anything because Totsu he's been one step ahead of everybody. I mean, him and his wife have been a step ahead of everybody. I mean, just two ordinary people, and they just trying to pull the wool over this whole mob's eyes, right? And the whole thing with how it first opened up with the young Totsu back when he was in high school, right? How when Totsu and Kyoshi goes back to Kyoshi's apartment, right, and then anything else they can find, so why not have a quick bite, right? So while Kyoshi's making an omelet, right, and how he's explaining how about with his dad, but when he was in high school, he lost his parents, right, and his father was a police officer, and he died while holding a flare, right? How he put himself in harm's way to help some people, right? And then when he was with his grandfather a year later, he died, so he's been on his own since then. And you get this moment, between these two, and then, which kind of say is kind of like their last meal, because the thing is, though, because we think either one of them is going to die, right? Because Eva Tozu was telling Kyoshi, she's like, if it turns out to be me, right? If I die, make it like an accident or a suicide, right? I don't want I don't want his daughter. I don't want my daughter to, continue this word hating on someone who actually would kill him, right? So he says to please, make it like it was an accident or a suicide, so that his daughter wouldn't continue hating on somebody. And then everything goes down with this whole thing, like how they were in this trailer with all the gangsters, like how trying to find about the hacking of the video and stuff, right, and the emails, and then with Kyotsu, he's coughing because all of them the whole trailer was covered with cigarette smoke, right? So he goes to the bathroom, which he uses the advantage to call his wife, to provide the next steps, right? And then another guy by the name of Takada pulls him outside to talk to him while Kyoshi is still inside the trailer. And it turns out he's asking about the armored car robberies. How does he know about all this stuff? And they find out that all the stuff that's been in Kyoshi's emails and stuff. So they take him, they force him to go into his apartment, right, to search the place, and then basically they basically Totsu had no choice but to put the whole entire blame on Kyoshi, because they tell him to open the safe. They find the money, which, if the money is not related to the car robbery, which he did do though, but the serial numbers don't match though. It's been money that he's been saving because from what we told from his past about with his family, right, and everything. He's been trying to do this to provide for his mom and stuff, right? But what he did not know is that bag of bones and the tablets inside his safe, which he did not know about, it was planted in there by somehow, because we see by the end of this episode, we see the wife, I guess it's like a few seconds like flashback, right? She's in this tracksuit and doing some stretching, right? Well, I'm guessing that we'll get in the next episode that somehow she must have been climbing through this window and somehow must have hacked the safe and planted that bag in there, right? We'll have to see in the next episode though. But somehow she got into his place and cracked the safe and then planted that bag in there. And Kyoshi has been telling the truth about deals. Yes, true. Someone hacked into his emails, and try to put all the blame on him though. But even one guy Takada, who opened the safe for him, and it's like, maybe you did it, right? But the guy saying, hey, y'all, because there's a whole bunch of group of people it's in there with them, and they're filming this whole thing on the phone, right? And it was like, hey, I came in here with all you guys. I didn't have no bag with me, right? And then Kyoshi's looking to Totsu, and Totsu's, like, hey, you didn't let me, when I was here, you didn't let me look in your safe, so I had to turn around so I wouldn't see anything. Sorry, basically, because you did tell me to look away from the safe, so I couldn't see anything. So yeah, I was feeling so bad for Kyoshi. I was feeling bad because either the blame has been put on Totsu or Kyoshi, and Totsu, maybe he kind of felt bad, but he had no choice but to put the whole blame on him, right? I mean, either one of them was gonna die, but the thing is, like Kyoshi was suspecting that that was Totsu. Maybe he was suspecting that Totsu was behind though, but he could not prove anything because, like what Totsu's been doing, and his wife, along with his wife helping him, has been making him one step ahead of everybody. Pulling the wool over everybody's eyes, right? And he's just been ahead of everybody, and with Kyoshi, and the guy with the gray hair who's been working with the boss's son, the son of the boss, the head of one of the heads of the Yakuza, right? The guy's name is Kubo, right? And he's like, yeah, hey, bring him, but in a body bag, right? And basically they try to put something over his face, though, but it cuts away. We wouldn't know what happens with him yet, though. But that's the last shot we see of the wife, in a tracksuit doing some stretching on the roof, right? So yeah, this has been a really like he's been poor Kyoshi, you know, like he's been getting beat up, you know, and well, yeah, kicked a little bit though, and just he's doing his best trying to get his way out of this because saying that he didn't do any of this because they dumped the bag out, they found the tablet with the fake video and the bones as well. They assume that saying that is Nabuto. That's him, and then they ended up taking his hard-earned saving money that he's been saving so hard for doing all their dirty work, right? I mean, the guy's been loyal to this gang, and then now the spotlight's been put on him on the blame, right? I mean, this has been a very perfect way of in a series of putting the blame on somebody if I've seen in quite some time, right? I haven't seen a better perfect way of like putting a blame on somebody. But yeah, just episode 9. Like I said, episode 8, like I said, it was pretty good, but this was even better than episode 8 because just the whole way how Totsu and his wife, how they just put the whole blame on Kiyoshi like this, it was just like, oh my god, you know? Because even a couple episodes back, like, Kaisen, she was going to plant that bag at Kiyoshi's mother's place. You know, but then she kind of felt guilty because of what Kiyoshi's mom was telling her about, you know, what happened with her husband at their diner when they ran it, and so she kind of felt guilty. So she wasn't going to do that to the mother, though. So, but then the choice it ended up putting the blame on Kyoshi instead, though. So, but yeah, this has been a really great episode. I mean, 10 out of 10 once again. This show is, like I said, it's very well written, and I thought the lead characters have been playing smart this whole entire time, trying to outsmart this, trying to get out of this this hole they've been getting to with the Yakuza, right? And like he's just been, like I said, he's just been a step ahead of everybody, you know, and man, this is like, oh my god, you know, just seeing what they're doing to Kyoshi is like, oh man. But it's well to wait the next one, because is he gonna die? We don't know yet, because it cut away, so we don't know what's gonna happen in the next episode. So yeah, but episode 8 and then episode 9 especially, it's been really awesome, you know. So yeah, but thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and it's getting pretty close, you know. So anime month is around the corner. So hope you're going to, I hope you enjoy that, because I got another good batch to go through. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Later.